Recording now. So who wants to do the first sentence? They're sort of like fragments of sentences because they come from a lot longer sentences, and I didn't especially want to type in a whole like a paragraph long sentence or something. But anyway, does someone want to have a go or not?
If nobody else is, I will.
Okay, go ahead.
Outside, the gate was torn open by somebody.
There's not a notion of somebody there.
I put somewhere. I put a big gate was torn open somewhere.
The Irgendwo, it means somewhere. So outside a big gate was torn open. Incidentally, tor can also mean fool, so it's like a older meaning. So it could be a play on words, I suppose. Number 2. It's quite a poetic sort of clause.
Yeah, that's why I wasn't sure that I'd got it right because it didn't sound right. But
he had bright tears in his eyes.
Yep. Number 3. Alex, do you want to go?
It was a Sunday afternoon in Shunston. We are in beautiful something.
Where do you see "fru" in sort of relation to a year normally?
That's a good question. That's a very good question.
So der Frühling, maybe. So here Frühjahr, das Frühjahr means springtime. So early year.
Of course. Yeah.
Anyone for number 4, which is very, very fragmentary.
Is it on the big steamboat?
Yep. Yeah. Perfect.
Dampf.
Der Dampf means steam.
Steam.
I had to search it up.
Steaming open the letters.
Yeah. Yeah. So who wants to fill in our first gap?
Is it EN?
No. Do you remember Frau Porsche talks about the frying pans?
Yeah.
No, she hasn't talked about that with us.
But isn't it?
Let me draw.
But if it's das, then.
Yeah.
And the neuter accused. Oh, it's E, isn't it?
Yep.
Oh, right, yeah.
Hold on, let me just draw.
I'm such a nerd. I've got it stuck up on my wall so I can look at it every time
that's
I do
helpful.
German.
So have I. I've got adjective endings, ein words, and the der, dem, das, dem,
Yeah,
des,
I've
dem,
got all that.
when to use them. Up on the left.
Yeah, because
underneath
sometimes I can't always remember them. So
underneath my maths need to know formula sheet.
Ooh. I've
Oh
got
yeah,
Russian on the right, German on the left.
Whereas this works for the ein and the der adjective endings. So the definite and the indefinite article. Now, can you see that? So
hang on, I might have to go full screen. Hang on.
Isn't it 2 at the bottom? Isn't it 3 then 2? Or am I just being?
Yep. Sorry. Yeah. There you go. That's your frying pan. So the idea of the frying pan is everything else is en. For both of them, everything that's not in the frying pan, the green bits, is en. For
everything that isn't green is en.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, I see it.
So for the der ones, the green bits are all e's. So hence,
Right, yeah.
Ich habe mir das neueste Smartphone-Modell gekauft. So that's an accusative neuter. So it is down here. So it's a green one. So it's E.
Yes.
No, E.
Just E.
Just an E. Because it's das.
It says yes on my sheet.
No, that's for the
That's ein.
After ein. After ein, yeah. That's it.
Ein. So for the ein ones, everything that's not green is still en.
Yeah.
But green ones, for masculine you've got er. For feminine you've got e. and for neuter you've got es.
Es. Yeah, that's what I've got. Yeah.
So if we'd said ich habe mir ein, or if you want to say ich habe mir ein neues smartphone model gekauft. So again it's accusative, but it's ein. So if I just type that down.
So does that only apply for? So the frying pan only applies for der, die, das, and
It doesn't really work for the strong ones, the ones with no article.
No.
It might help you, like if you're in the exam or something and trying to remember, just think about how the frying pan works with the table.
I guess if in doubt, use en, because the majority of them are.
Yeah.
You can't remember use
Well,
en.
yeah. Yeah, there's 16 to choose from, and 11 of them are en.
Yeah.
Okay. Should we go? So okay, I'll fill this in. Sorry.
List.
Number 2.
Is it en?
Yeah. Why?
Because it's lives in so im is a dual case preposition, and
Yep.
it's saying that we're in it, we're not going to it, so it's the accusative.
No.
Dative, I mean.
Yes. Yeah.
Could it might have something to do with the fact that the words after it also end in en, so it's got to agree.
No. That would only work if. So for the next example, that would work. So say for the next example, I won't spoil the answer, but say we knew what the ending on bekannt was, we would know that feministisch would have to have the same ending.
Right.
But
That's where it's got to agree.
But if you go through what these words are, right? So you've got wir, pronoun, sind, verb rather, verb. Im, that's a preposition and it's kind of your definite your definite article put together. Then an adjective for warmer, and then Sommerregen, that's a noun. Der Sommerregen. Spazieren gegangen. So spazieren is a verb again, and gegangen is a past participle of a verb. So these are spazieren here is an infinitive. That's just a phrase, spazieren gehen, to go for a walk. So you only have to agree. It would only have to agree with other adjectives. You don't agree verbs. Does that make sense? You have to conjugate verbs, but you don't agree them.
Yeah.
That make
Okay.
sense? Yeah.
Nouns are the ones that need to agree.
Yes. Yeah. Well, nouns and adjectives, but not that many nouns. Like you have to agree for genitives. So the 2 deses, the masculine and neuter and neuter, you have to put an s or an es on the end, depending on whether the word is 1 syllable or longer. And then you kind of, I suppose you kind of decline the weak masculine nouns a bit, but it's not nearly as much you have to do in like Latin.
No, yeah.
So who wants to do number 3? Alex, want to go?
I'm not too sure, but
Think it through. Like think out loud.
Hast du dein letzten?
Why do you say that?
Because of den.
Yeah.
I'm pushing towards accusative.
Yeah. So it's a masculine. It's der Roman, so it's a masculine accusative here.
Yeah, and Roman, I imagine would maybe be, I guess, was masculine.
Yeah, you know it's masculine, don't you? Because it's hast du den. So first of all, it's den. So that's either going to be a masculine accusative or a dative plural, and then you've got gelesen. So you know that it's going to be masculine from that, because it's going to be an accusative, because a dative wouldn't make sense there.
Dative wouldn't make sense, no.
And also, if it were dative plural, you'd have to have romanen. the plural.
Okay, yeah, I see.
Well, the dative plural. So what are we putting on bekannt?
Der bekannt.
Is it en?
Why did you say that?
Because of the der, but it's not the same.
But it's,
Because of
it's a genitive, so wouldn't it be E? Because it's technically feminine, but it's just
oh
been
yeah.
changed. So it's because the
No.
Schrift.
Think,
Oh yeah, en. Yeah, that's what I meant. Yeah.
yeah, think back to this. So so my datives and genitives are down here, and
So
then
the en.
there's no green whatsoever. So it must be an en. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that means, sorry, I put it in red. And that means feministisch has what on the end?
It's also en.
Yeah, because they have to agree.
Hmm.
So when I ask you why you say that, it's not so much I think you're wrong, because you
Yeah.
in that case it's just making sure you're thinking very logically about why things are what they are.
Yeah, not guessing such.
Yeah. Neu. What are we doing for
En?
that? En, did you say?
Yeah,
Why do you think that?
because
There's an
yeah,
11/16
if,
chance.
Is it?
no, because isn't it because it's nomin? No.
Is it because it's accusative and there's no article beforehand?
So right, it's not en first of all.
Oh.
No, you're thinking along the right lines. There's no article beforehand, so before the noi. So it must be the strong declension, the one with no article. So it's in the nominative clearly. So
It's
that,
er.
it's er, yeah, because nominative masculine for the strong declension is er. And we'll be putting on the end of staatlich.
En.
En, and why did you say that?
Because it's in the dative and it's dative feminine, and because it's not in the little frying pan thing, it's en.
Yep, perfect. Number 5. Bit of a far off dream at the moment. But
Is it es?
no. Oh, sorry, no, you're all right. Sorry, so my brain turned off for a moment. Yeah. Yes. And why?
Yeah, is
Because
date
it's
sorry.
neuter.
neutral. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, Bier is das Bier, and it's an accusative.
Accusative.
Someone want to go number 6, which again on the sheet I think I stupidly wrote schmeckt, but it's obviously schmecken.
Obviously.
It's because
Wait, hang on, are we using like several different verb tables here?
no,
Not adjective ending tables.
we're using 3. There are 3, and we've kind of briefly used all of them. So there's the der one, and then there's the ein one, and then there's the no article.
I'll send you a picture, Imogen.
Thank you.
So the der and the ein both do this frying pan thing, whereas so the strong one, you can call it strong or third declension. I think there are numerous names that you can use for it, but the one that has no article doesn't use doesn't have the frying pan thing. But if so, so this one here, the number 4, that is using the strong declension, the one without any articles.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the only one that we've done so far in the fill in the gaps that is using that declension. But there are 3 things. There are 3 different tables, but 2 of them are very similar. The only thing that differentiates the der, so the definite article and the indefinite article, the eins, is that the things in the frying pan for der, for the definite article are e, and in the feminine article, in the feminine frying pan, as it were, they go er for masculine, e for feminine, es for neuter. And yeah, so that's that. So the only so ein, the ein masculine one will end in a nominative, will end in er, whereas the ein masculine accusative will end in en, because it's outside the handle, as it were, of the frying pan is in the nominative. So you don't have it, but basically, yeah. So for this, for the ein ones, it will go er for masculine, e for feminine, es for neuter, and so it will be in the accusative. It will be e for feminine, es for neuter, but en for masculine, because it's not in the frying pan.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So what are you putting on Spanish? First of all, which table of declension are we looking at?
Is it going to just be E?
It's going to be an E. Why?
Because oliven is plural and there's no article in front of it, so the Spanish has to be nominative plural.
Yep. Yeah. And so that's in the strong adjectives, adjective ending, so the ones without an article. What are we putting on best?
I'm not sure what gender lax is.
So it's,
Yeah.
yeah, and but you can tell that, can't you? If you look at it. So
It's den.
yeah,
Den is accusative.
yeah. So
masculine.
wenn man
Masculine.
den, yeah. So it's masculine. So
Yeah.
wenn man den badabum essen möchte. So it's going to be in the accusative because it's having the eating. The lachs, the salmon, is having the eating going to it.
Yeah, and den accusative is masculine, so yeah.
Yeah.
And then en on besten.
Yeah.
Den besten.
Yeah. Den besten Lachs der what?
I want to say en again.
Yeah.
But,
Same.
Yep. Why? Oh, sorry, not Gansen. Sorry, Gansen. Yeah.
Because it's genitive and it's the definite article, and the genitive doesn't fall in the frying pan.
Yep. Perfect. So, wenn man den besten Lachs der ganzen Welt essen möchte, muss man schottisch something Lachs kaufen.
Ja.
No. So which endings are we using?
The strong one, is it not? Because there's no article in front of it.
No
Yep.
article.
And it's
Would it be en then? Because it's accusative.
Yep. Sorry.
I don't know about this strong declaration thing.
Let me get you a picture up. Hold on, let me just find a picture and I'll paste it in.
I just spent my half term writing it all down, so.
see, we haven't done this in IB, like this extensiveness of grammar, so that's why I'm also
We just get set it really just by like Mr. Lazo and stuff.
because I didn't even know there was 3 tables until now.
There's endless tables for
Everything, yeah, all
stuff,
languages.
So I'm just trying to find a good table. Yeah, that's okay.
A quick question: how is the Scottish Scottish N? How is that accusative?
Because you're buying it. So it's having the kaufen done to it.
Oh, okay.
There you go. So is there no way I can draw on this? Annotate that again. So if we just circle the endings, got ER, E, ES, and then E on the plural again. But then it goes EN for the masculine accusative, but then it's still. So I suppose you've sort of again got a bit of a frying pan if you draw it in here. If that makes sense. So you've got the ER, so you've kind of got the frying pan, but it doesn't really make sense because it's not as if everything else is the one ending. So then you've got dative, EM, ER, EM, EN. And this kind of, I suppose, is quite easy to remember. So what's the definite article in the dative for masculine?
En. En.
So, yeah, dame. So it ends in em. So you can if it helps you remember it, dame ends in em, and the adjective endings it ends in em for the strong. Then you've got der for the feminine form in the dative, and then you've got dame again, and then you've got den. So this is sort of mirroring the ending of the definite and indefinite article. Does that make sense?
Nick, I've got to go, but I will see you next week.
Yeah. Okay. See you then.
Bye.
Hello.
So these are kind of mirroring the definite article and the indefinite article, if it helps you remember the dative ones. And then genitive, the masculine and the neuter, I suppose you kind of just have to learn. The feminine. So the feminine and the plural, the definite article for those is der. So I don't know. If you want to say something like die Kunst der Kirche, so the art of the church. I don't know, a weird sentence like that. But it's der, and it's kind of, so that ends in er, and so does the adjective, and it's the same for the plural. And then the masculine neuter are kind of, you just have to learn them, if that makes sense.
Is this the strong thing?
This is strong.
The strong words.
So no article.
No article in front of him. Just gotta know him. Just gotta know what to put.
Yeah. Okay, should we do number 8?
Yeah, sure. Is it blau N as in en?
Yes. Why?
Because it's in the definite table and it's accusative, so it's en.
Flying into the sky. And Alex, do you want to finish off with glänzend?
Die glänzend. Is it an E?
No. Why do you think it's an E?
Good question. I don't.
So think back to the frying pan. The frying pan doesn't extend out to the plurals.
Yeah. No,
So the singular is der Stern. So you've got D, so and you know, if you know it's der Stern, and it's got an E on the end, so it feels like it's hinting you. It's kind of pushing you to think that that's a plural, which it is. Therefore, it has to be. What does it have to end in if it's a plural? And it's
En.
Yeah, en. Yeah.
I see.
Oh, why didn't I keep it? Colour. There we go. Die glänzenden Sterne zu beruhen. Does that make any sense, or?
Yeah.
Ish.
Ish.
Are there any other questions you've got?
No, I think I might just have to figure out these tables.
Yeah. It's a good idea. I've still got my copy. I sort of formatted them so they're all on an A5 sheet. So you can just, I just laminated it, so I just leave it within arm's reach. So when you're, I don't know, writing an essay or something, or doing a translation, just think about, you just always refer to it. Like it's probably, I'd say, better when you're first learning them to check what you're writing, so that you know that what you're writing is correct, and then thereafter try and test yourself without checking the answers, obviously.
Yeah, I've done that with accusative and dative.
Yeah.
But yeah.
and also when you're reading anything in German, I think it's a very good idea. And I mean, and if you do it enough, it probably becomes slightly subconscious. But it really helps your understanding if you, when you read a sentence, you think about what's going on grammatically in the sentence. So if you look at sentence 8, als ich Kind war, wollte ich in den blauen Himmel fliegen, um die glänzenden Sterne zu berühren. So if you think logically, so you've got als ich Kind war, so you've got an imperfect here, and I suppose if you really want to know what's going on in the German, you can see the als, and you can see that this is a when, but it's in the past, so it's going to be an als, not a wenn. If that makes sense. And then, so then you've got wollte ich. So here's another. You can pick up on another bit of grammar here, or style really. Als ich Kind war, wollte ich. So because als here is subordinating the verb to the end. At the end of subordinate clauses, you invert the verb from the next clause. So it's always going to be verb, comma, verb. But you, and then you keep on going. So in den, so it must be an accusative. Well, it must be an accusative or a dative plural. So what? And then you look what's going on next, and you get Himmel in the singular. So it must be an accusative, and then it's blauen. So that's just furthering your knowledge that it's a accusative, masculine accusative. And so you know that he's flying into the sky, not flying in the sky, if that makes sense. So if you were saying, ich möchte in einem Flug okay, there you go. Ich möchte in einem Flug im Himmel fliegen. Like I'd like to fly in a plane in the sky. So that would be a dative. So you know that this is an accusative. So he's flying into the sky. And then you've got another comma here because you've got that's a clause. Then you've got die glänzenden Sterne zu berühren. So again, you've kind of got an zu clause going on. So you have an infinitive at the end, and so on. But anyway, the thing with German is you can analyze the sentences to your heart's content if you want. But I'd say, I mean, obviously that's not. It's going to take you forever if you open a book and you spend 10 minutes per clause thinking about what's going on and what could possibly be the meaning behind what's going on or whatever, or why something's going on. But I think I'd say it really helps to both understanding what is going on, what the words mean, but also improving your German, because you start to think about it a lot more logically. And if you start to think about German logically, then it follows that you should hopefully start writing it more logically. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Sorry, I rambled a bit then. But,
That's absolutely fine.
No, it's just I'm just like, it's gonna take me a while, but it'll be fine. Do it eventually.
It's practicing it. I don't know. Try and maybe set yourself a task to try and read a sentence or two a day, and you're really thinking about what is going on in the sentence. So you're parsing the sentence. You're trying to really analyze what is going on in the sentence.
Yeah.
And also, if you think about it, if you're reading something written by a German, you know that either the German's going to have perfect German, or certainly far better German than you do, so you're learning from them. Or if you start spotting mistakes in them, you know that you're getting quite good because you're starting to be able to correct natives.
Yeah.
So that's quite. So make sure it's written by a German, and it's not something that's. I wouldn't recommend buying, say, an English book translated into German. I mean, you can do it, and it's quite a fun thing to do, to compare, to see how it is translated, and it's a very beneficial thing to do. Yeah, like Harry, like my godfather got me the Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone when I was quite young in German.
Yeah, a couple of those in the library.
Yeah. So I'd recommend reading those is very interesting, like to compare, to see how it's translated. But I'd say first of all, try and read stuff written by Germans. I mean, obviously the translation is probably going to be written by a German, but try and actually read something that's written originally in German, not just a translation into German, because the translation could be trying to do multiple things at once. like trying to capture something from the original. So I just try and, I don't know, take der Vorleser or something like that and just think about what's going on in the sentence and why it's going on. Yeah, and hopefully it should all fall into place.
That's a plan.
Yeah. Do you have any requests for next week or not? Or do you want some more adjective practice or?
I don't. I was trying to think. Is there anything like I used to? I mean, I guess I was thinking like tenses. I mean, to be fair, this might actually be good to go over again because But I mean, I was thinking tenses because I never always used to kind of be very great at those. So
Any particular tenses?
I can't remember.
Or maybe
I was trying to think back to GCSE, which ones I used to not be very strong at. But
I mean, or maybe something like the passive. That
oh yeah,
you do the passive. Also.
Passive and active.
Yeah, I can do passive and active. That's
Yeah,
quite
because I have no idea.
okay. Yeah.
is this? Have we ever done that before?
I don't think I have gone through it before. I can't remember if I have or
I
not.
don't think we did it. We definitely
To
didn't
be
do it in
honest, it's just-
GCSE. That's for sure. We did
Yeah,
passive.
no. Mm.
Okay. I'll do it on the passive, and like talk
Yeah.
about what's active and what's passive.
Yeah, no, okay. Yeah, sure.
That'd be helpful. Yeah.
All right. See you next week.
Right,
Yeah.
see you next week, Nicholas. Cheers.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.